Okay, let's begin with today's language update. Today is the 2nd of June, 2025. So today I had a good day and I was feeling fine. And I had so many powerful thoughts and so many helpful ones and so many positive ones. Especially in the morning and then until the evening. In the evening then there was one or two that weren't so helpful, which I'll obviously get to, but overall my day was amazing and I'm so proud that I created so many positive and good thoughts, and I could kind of feel like myself again and feel the reality again and be okay with myself. So what really helped to stop brooding, which I was doing obviously the past few days, and then what really helped was to make a decision. I think that was the main thing that helped. There was always a few things that were kind of helpful, but when I made a decision, because when you're brood, it's when I was brooding now, or when I often brood, it's what do I do? What's the answer? What's the right thing? And then I stop brooding almost immediately when I make a decision, either go for it or don't, do it or don't. Yeah, I was brooding about one specific topic, which was masturbation and stuff. And it's one of my, big fears or whatever, and something, that I was struggling with the past few days and the past years as well. But the past few days it came up very strong again. And I was brooding about it a lot. So when I just finally made a decision that, right now I'm not finding any answers, and right now I'm still too unsure about it, and I'm still too afraid of certain things, I just decided I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it until I have it figured out, until I, I'm certain in myself, until I found some sort of answer to the situation. And then when I decided on what I decided on, I basically stopped brooding, and also with basically realizing, brooding doesn't help whatsoever, and I'm only brooding because I believe I can't cope with something. So I decided I'm not going to brood anymore. I'm just not going to think about it anymore. I'm going to fill my mind with things that are helpful, things that I enjoy doing, and I'm not going to think about this anymore. I really just decided, no, done. I'm not thinking about that anymore. Those two things were the main things that got me out of it. And then I also realized how some of the fears I had while brooding, oh, do I need this? Am I gonna get addicted? Is it something I really need and can't get over? When I noticed, okay, I had stopped brooding because I decided to stop, I then noticed look, I'm not actually craving it anymore. I'm not actually, because you crave sex, you crave things like that when you think about it. You don't otherwise. It's, you think about it and stuff. So when I stopped thinking about that, I didn't feel like I needed it anymore or wanted it anymore. It was just no, it's not important. No. So it was just because I was thinking about it so much, and that's why I was drawn to that topic, obviously. So that was really nice to see as well. And then yesterday evening, I decided to have some change in scenario. So I decided to sleep upstairs on the roof terrace. So I brought my mattress upstairs and slept up there. Because the night before I hadn't slept very well, and there was so many thoughts, and I was so hot and everything, and outside the temperature was much nicer during the night. So I slept upstairs and I had a really nice time there. I just watched a bit of YouTube or a movie and just, laid there. And then before I went to sleep, I laid there and just looked up at the stars. And then I could really feel my connection to the universe, because then I was focusing on the stars, and I was this is so beautiful. There's so many, and they're so far away, but they're real, and they're a part of me and part of this world. And then I'm a part of all of this, and look at how beautiful. I'm sleeping outside and by myself, and I'm in this lovely environment, and I'm safe, and everything's okay, and nothing's happening to me, and it's all good. I'm here and I'm managing and stuff like that. So those thoughts were so helpful. And then I slept, and I slept fine, and I woke up, and I woke up feeling, better than I did all the other days. And because I was focusing on positive things, I was like, oh, I'm outside, I'm here, and it's so pretty, and the sun is rising and starting to shine on my bed, and the birds are all making noises and flying around like crazy. So I just very much enjoyed it there. And then my morning went on like that. So then I noticed, oh my god, wait, I'm not brooding anymore. Wait a second. I didn't even have those thoughts in my head anymore. Or if they were there, I didn't pay attention to them at all. They didn't disturb me whatsoever. So I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? I'm fine. I'm feeling fine. And then I just walked around my house as well, and I noticed I'm managing it. I'm doing it. I'm feeling fine. And I noticed that's real, because when I was in a blip, I was asking myself are the moments where I'm fine actually real? And now I can say, yeah, how okay I felt was real, because I had good thoughts, and because I believed in good things and helpful things. And also, if you would have asked me in that moment, are you managing, or do you want to commit suicide? I would have been like, girl, I am managing fine. I am absolutely okay, So I was really fine. And it's because of the things I was focusing on. It was because of the helpful thoughts I created and focusing on nice things. And then I did my work, and I didn't dread it. And I did my work, and I felt the possibility of really enjoying it. And I did enjoy it. I wasn't oh, this is so super cool, but I absolutely didn't feel in any way negative towards it. I didn't feel oh, I don't want to do this, or any way negative. I was really just doing my work, and I did it all, and I didn't feel like anything was bothering me. And I was fine, and I saw how I can love my job and what I'm doing, my projects and stuff like that. And yeah, then there was moments of the day where I listened to music as well, and I really loved that. And yeah, and I today also was my shopping day. So I went shopping, and usually I would brood about it for a while. Sometimes it would even start the evening before the day I was going to go shopping, or throughout the whole morning and stuff, until the point where I would go shopping, and even throughout that. But no, today I didn't think about it. I decided not to think about it. Whenever I noticed, there was some thoughts and I could brood about them, I was I'm not going to. I'm not going to. And I've been shopping many times now before, and I always was capable and always made it. And afterwards noticed, the anxiety was not needed at all. And if something happens, I'm going to stay calm, and it's going to be okay. And I'm going to manage it. And so, yeah, right until the point where I left, I wasn't nervous at all. And I'd say when I was then grabbing my things to actually walk out the door, that's when I felt a small bit nervous. But then I told myself, you're going to be fine. You're going to be back home. Everything's okay. You're capable. You've got this, girl. And then I don't remember any more anxiety from then on. So I was then in the car driving, and I actually really was excited to drive, because I was excited to listen to music. And the driver's yeah, I've driven this road many times before. I've got this. So I enjoyed that. And then I arrived at the shopping centres, and everything went well there as well. And I noticed some things where I would have brooded about that in the past, but I decided not to as well, and decided to look at it from a different angle, how literally everything's fine, and I did so well, and I managed again to do everything by myself. And I even did an extra little route, because my dad asked me to pick up some brownie bars for him. And I decided to do that today as well. So that's another little step I just did, and really wasn't anxious the whole time. And yeah, even though it was hot as well, I wasn't like stressing about how hot it is. I was just like, I can manage. Like, I was just staying calm. I was telling myself, it's all good, you can stay calm. Yeah, so like it all went well, and I brought the shopping home, and even throughout that I was staying calm, which sometimes I would stress about because because of the car, and like the driveway here to our house is quite narrow, and then I have to like reverse onto the road and then park the car somewhere else further away from our house and stuff. So that would sometimes stress me out, other times not. But today it didn't either, because I decided to stay calm. No matter what happens, I'm staying calm. It's all good. That's what's going to get me through it. And like language, having positive and calming and internal language, powerful language is the best coping mechanism, because that's going to get you through everything. So that was so amazing. Yeah, and then I got home and I was a bit tired, so I just relaxed for a bit and watched YouTube. And that is when the first unhelpful thought of the day came in, which I'm like throughout the evening now keep coming back to, which I can decide to just let it go, not do it, and just create a lovely evening. And it doesn't mean that tomorrow my day is going to be ruined just because I had one bad thought right now. So the thought was basically, you should work a bit more now and not watch so much YouTube. Like, you shouldn't be wasting your time with that. Like, get some work done, and you wanted to get some more work done after you came home from shopping. So now you're just wasting your time again watching YouTube, which isn't the best for you anyway. So yeah, then I felt guilty about relaxing for a while instead of doing work. Oh my god, it's ridiculous. Anyway, then I did do the work that I wanted to get finished, and then I decided to go up on the roof terrace and work on the Thrive program. And I watched the Thrive program video about social anxiety, the second one, and that was very good. Like, I saw many things and a lot of insights, and basically, before a situation happens, you should rehearse it in your mind the way you want it to happen. So how you want to like stay calm, you want to stay centered and know that you're going to manage it. So like basically imagining it playing out the way that you want to and how you want to feel about everything. Then while you're in the situation, always processing the fact like, I'm doing it, I'm here, like I'm okay, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, and like, I'm doing this and I'm doing great and I'm gonna get through this and stuff like that. So processing while you're in it, and like obviously having helpful language. And then after the situation, always processing it in a very positive way as well, being like, look, I made it and I don't need to be anxious, and none of the anxious thoughts that I had beforehand came true, or I stayed much calmer than I thought, or like I'm so capable of managing these situations, and yeah, things like that, like processing it afterwards. And that's how you can more and more get over social anxiety. And it doesn't mean it's not going to be there, but it's the fact that when it is there, when you do feel socially anxious, what do you do about that? How do you handle it? That's the point. And then if you handle it well and are like just staying calm and being kind to yourself instead of beating yourself up, then social anxiety decreases more and more. So it's about, what you do when it does arise. And obviously it doesn't just happen to you, it's because of your own beliefs, but you're going to change them by handling the social anxiety, by the way you handle it. So yeah, that was really good. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I do feel like something in me is a bit like negative or a bit disappointed now, even though the whole day I was actually like really happy. Like I was then obviously feeding off of my good thoughts as well. So I was like seeing how I have good thoughts, and then I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, and I'm like doing totally fine today, and I'm like, I'm not focusing on anything to complain about. I'm just enjoying my life and my time. And tonight I'm going to sleep on the roof terrace again because it was so beautiful, and I'm just gonna have a nice time. So I don't know, instead of brooding about this now, about this little negative thing that I'm feeling, I could decide to I'm gonna make this a lovely evening. I'm not gonna focus on the negatives, and I know I'm gonna get out of that again, and everything's gonna be okay, and I can have a fantastic time. And yesterday evening, I can see by proof from yesterday evening I wasn't feeling great, but then as I went to bed and then woke up the next morning and throughout that whole day basically, I was feeling great. So just because you feel negative now doesn't mean you're going to feel negative forever. And it's again the way that you talk to yourself, how you manage that, and how you process everything and what you decide. But things seemed so much more possible today, and then I saw so much more perspective. I was like, this and this, and the Thrive program makes so much sense, and when I was in a blip I could have done this and this, but when I was there I couldn't see any of that at all. I basically forgot so many things that I learned, but then out of the blip I'm just seeing all the things that could have helped me. Anyway, thanks for watching. I think I'm going to leave it at that and not brood about the negative feeling out, because there's really no need. I don't really know why I feel negative. There's really no need, and I can just have a lovely time. So thanks for watching, and until then, bye. Today's the 3rd of June 2025. And I think this is going to be my last language update. I think I didn't start quite 2 weeks ago, but almost 2 weeks ago I started with these language updates. And now I'm just feeling like I'm going to stop making these sort of update videos and instead, return to making actual proper videos that I can use for my YouTube channel as well and stuff. Because when I'm always updating myself in these short videos, I then often, I'm don't want to repeat the whole thing again for another proper YouTube video. So I think for now it's just enough as well. And but I'm still going to continue working on my language, keeping an eye on that, learning from it. Today, I would say that I had a medium type of day. I really didn't feel any strong negative emotions nor any strong positive emotions. It was kind of it's fine. It's an okay sort of day. Because basically I wasn't talking super friendly to myself today. I was again more focused on that I'm not doing enough work and I should be doing more, and kind of feeling down about myself in relation to that, and kind of beating myself up a bit, not super strong like I said, but still feeling down about it, and kind of telling myself I should be doing more. Or when I noticed I wanted to finish watching the movie that I had put on in the background when working, I was then no, you shouldn't just lie on the couch now and finish the movie. You should get up and do more work, or or at least work on the Thrive program or something like that. But I then actually did decide, no, look, the movie is going on for another half an hour, and I'm going to relax and finish that. And then I'm going to work on the Thrive program like I had planned, and I'd still have loads of the day left. It was still early, and I had my work that I had planned for that day finished, and stuff like that. I did go out of the house today again, and I went to the waterfall park and just sat there for a bit, worked on the Thrive program and listened to a bit of music, but there was always flies at me, so at some point I left because of the flies. I would have actually wanted to stay there longer, but they just wouldn't leave me alone no matter what I did. So but that was nice as well of me to just go out, change of scene. Just doing something. Afterwards I went onto the roof terrace and I worked on the Thrive program a bit, but I felt how I was kind of falling asleep. I worked on it as in I watched a video from it. And yeah, while I was watching I was like half falling asleep because I slept fine, honestly, but I slept outside again. So that I slept outside for 2 nights in a row. And this second night, like, was first of all a bit colder and windier, but honestly, it was fine once I like grabbed some blankets. But yesterday evening, that's something where I felt negative because I was like kind of thinking really stupidly, like in a negative, unhelpful way, like, oh, what if it's too cold and I just want to go inside, or just maybe I don't want to sleep outside, actually maybe I just want to sleep inside and it's way too cold. And like, you know, then I spoke to those thoughts. I was like, yeah, you can sleep inside if you want to, but then I was like, no, but then I failed and I didn't actually, you know, I wanted to enjoy sleeping out here, and I still want to enjoy it, like I don't want to sleep inside. And I was like, okay, relax, like you can just get more blankets and then see how you feel. And it was completely fine with more blankets then. And then I was also like, even if in the middle of the night you wake up and you're too cold, like you can just go inside and then maybe put on like a longer pajamas, like, and then I put on longer pajamas as well, so my whole body was like covered and not cold and stuff. But yeah, then like the noises obviously are louder because you're sleeping outside, but I did have earplugs in. But then in the morning I just kind of woke up from the birds again and from the loud cars and stuff, and just felt quite like tired, even though I did sleep fine, but my dreams were a bit weird as well. So yeah, I feel like at the moment, like my dreams are a bit weird anyways, and I do feel, I think, a bit more tired. Like it's not really obvious, but I do feel a bit more tired, I think, and that's obviously got to do with my thoughts as well. But I am like doing better. I'm out of that like strong blip that I was in. Like I'm for sure like out of that, but you know, I'm still using the negative thinking style, which I did use before as well. And today, definitely, like I was being very negative again, or quite negative again about things. But yeah, when I was on the roof terrace, basically, that was like the first time as well where I felt actually kind of like at peace when imagining me and Mario as just friends, you know, because obviously like I like him and stuff, but he doesn't like me back currently, and he is interested in someone else and was visiting her at the weekend and stuff. So like every time like I kind of think about that, I'm usually quite sad and quite upset, and it just pains me. But this was like the first time where I like visualized us being like really good friends and like having a lovely time together and being each other's support, you know, really continuing the way it is now, but just as I could feel how I didn't feel like I really needed him anymore, or I wanted him. I like, not in the way like I don't need him anymore, like get rid of him, but like I don't need him anymore as like a boyfriend, or feeling like I need him for, I don't know, like my comfort or some other things and stuff. And I just imagine and visualize myself feeling like so comforted inside myself and so confident that I just don't feel like I need him anymore, or that I really, really want him. And that was really nice to like see and feel that I can be my own comfort and my own confidence, and I don't need him, and things like that. And yeah, that was like the first time I really noticed like I don't need him. I don't need him for what I want to achieve, like feeling confident and loving myself and enjoying my life and feeling whole and stuff like that. So yeah, that was really nice, honestly, noticing I don't need him. Yeah, and then that's just going on. And then I think, like, obviously I'm still sometimes remembering the thoughts that I had in the blip that I was in about like masturbation and all of that. But every time I remember them, like I'm just again and again deciding like, no, I'm not going to do anything right now because I'm still too unsure. And making the decision, oh my God, that was the game changer. Just making a decision, it just stopped the brooding and noticing how brooding really doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't give you any answers. So there's no need to brood. And people only brood because they want to find answers because they believe they can't cope with something. But it never, ever gives you an answer. And this blip that I had really proved to me, like, brooding just does not get you anywhere. It makes things so much worse and it keeps you stuck in the problem. Yeah, and I just get out of those thoughts pretty quickly then, and just I'm like, stop thinking about it, because I know if I would go into it I would feel bad. So I just stop it, like, and a part of me obviously still wants to like control that and be like, no, but like I really want an answer and I need to figure this out or else like I won't be fine. But like, no, right now I still need to increase my coping skills, and once they're increased I'll be able to deal with that without needing to brood about it. So anyway, I now have a bit of a different plan than usual for like the evening. So first of all, I did yoga again, and I haven't done that in I think like 2 or 3 months, and I used to do it like every single day for, I don't know, like 2 years now, more than 2 years. Yeah, like 3 years or something. And obviously there was some days or sometimes even a week or two where I didn't do it. And then, yes, when I lived here in Spain from August until December, I like barely did it as well. And I never really got back into it. I only did it like maybe twice a week or something, if even. But now I actually decided to do that, and why I decided to do it, because it was because I wanted to find like calmness and balance in myself and be grounded with myself and just have like 10 minutes where I'm just fully like with myself. And that was really nice. And then I went for a shower, and then I decided tonight I'm gonna watch The Maze Runner. Like, for some reason I want to watch it. Who knows if I'll actually end up watching it, but I was like, I kind of want to watch The Maze Runner and like have some popcorn, even though I don't have popcorn, so I'm gonna eat like nachos or Takis or something, and then maybe even like sew a bit, because I have some clothes that need to be like sewn. So I might do that as well if we have a sewing kit here. And then I'm just, gonna eat something now and then go to bed a bit earlier so that I just have a proper rest and I'm back in my bedroom instead of sleeping outside on the terrace. So just kind of change it up a little bit and not have the same thing going on and on over and over again. So yeah, that's that, I think. Definitely going to continue working on my language and getting better. And I'm for sure like noticing the negative thinking style super strongly. So I think that's something I just need to work on. And usually people are negative when they're trying to protect themselves from something. And yeah, I can totally feel I'm trying to protect myself from disappointment or feeling like, I don't know, there's something I can't control, or like, if I'm already negative, then I can't be hurt, or something like that. Like something probably that is really stupid, or probably something that is really like not true at all. But still, there's always a reason why you're negative or why you're brooding. There's always a reason, and there's also always an answer to it. And another really good news we got, me and my family, was that my brother Carson, he has been sober now for a week. Oh my god. And if you have watched these updates videos of me, and I'm like actually tearing up, oh my god, you know that actually today, a week ago exactly, it was the day where him and I were texting over in Bacala, and I was having a hard day. That's when I had this brooding attack that night as well, because I was having like a hard day seeing how he feels so powerless, because it reminded me of how I used to feel. And like, I just wished I could do something, and I wished he could see that it is in his hands and he can do something about it. And obviously something then clicked in him, or something changed, and I would like to think I had some part in it, but obviously it was his decisions and his feeling that he is able to stop. He finally, obviously part of him believed strong enough that he can stop and he can do something about it, that he literally made it a week without drinking. Like, that is so amazing. And oh my gosh, he sent us like a very long message, and I just teared up reading like the message and then the replies from my family, and I was just like, oh my God, it is possible to get over things, and it is possible, you know, even when you believe at first that it's not possible, but as soon as you see it is, as soon as you believe it is to whatever extent, then there's this light, there's this door that opens up, and you just need to grab hold of it and open it. And like, oh my God, it was like so, wow, so amazing. And I was so genuinely so happy for him and so proud of him. And I loved that. I loved seeing for myself as well, like things are possible and I can get over things. And at first I processed that in a negative way. Yeah, I was more actually feeling down about my own problems. I was then like, wow, if he can get over something like that and I still haven't gotten over like my sort of problems, then like, will I ever, like, you know, and will I ever be without like social anxiety or without brooding? Will I ever be like able to fully enjoy my life and feel like I can cope with everything no matter what happens? Like, first I really processed it in a really like unhelpful way, but then I noticed, no, this is a sign that as soon as you believe you can get over something, it happens. Like, you do it. It is in your hands. And, you know, even if he kind of has a relapse or kind of falls back, you know, it still proves you can go without drinking. You can stop. You don't need it. And he will be able to stop fully then at some point if he doesn't give up, and if, you know, he keeps working on the belief that he can stop. And I love that. And, you know, this is a big thing already, that he, like, a week, like that's a big thing. That's amazing. I love it. So yeah, that's the other news. So thank you for watching. Bye.